Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
From France.
France.
Both.
Okay. What do you do in Japan?
I was a student here for 5 months
You what?
in
You
university.
Mhm.
Yeah, like now it's vacation time
Uh-huh.
and school is over.
And you?
I'm there for holidays for
Okay.
3 weeks.
Is it first time to come to Japan? So
Yes.
how long have you been in Japan?
1 day.
1 day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Freshly arrived.
Yeah.
Okay. And your sister, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's my big
Mm.
sister.
So you're kind of visiting her.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that you have like different impression of Japan because you spent much more time and you spent only 1 day. So firstly, what was your impression of Japan?
Like my first impressions when I arrived, first thing I thought about, I live in Paris, right? So first thing I thought about was homeless people that are really, really less here compared to Paris. I was shocked by the fact that there's no one on the streets. Like there's not no one, but you know, it's not everywhere. So this was one of the first. Then the convenience opened 24/7. There's a lot actually. Maybe English. Like the fact that Japanese people don't speak English, I was kind of aware about it because I was told that like it was like sukoshi English in Japan, but it's different when you arrive and you don't speak Japanese because I actually don't. I was there as an exchange student, like for just exchange program and not Japanese school.
Okay.
So I didn't have to really speak Japanese first.
So you came here like with zero Japanese
Yeah,
knowledge?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And I ended up like speaking, like I have a little bit of Japanese now because I worked in an izakaya as a baito,
Uh-huh.
but I just learned there. I didn't have class.
So you learn Japanese language by like, surviving
Exactly.
in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Wasn't it like difficult, like struggling to work in izakaya? It's kind of brave.
Thank you. I actually was very lucky, I think. First, it was the only offer that I applied for. And
Okay.
I got the answer like right away. Like just the day after in the morning, I got a text from my owner saying me like, "Are you free?" So very lucky. And also like my whole team was really sweet and like really keen on learning me Japanese, like teaching me. The wife of my owner actually had a whiteboard that she used at school, and she used to bring it at the restaurant just to teach me some Japanese words. So I mean, it could really have been worse. And also, I didn't take the Chumon right away, like not directly. So it was really step by step. So I didn't have like so much struggles with the clients. Also, usually they're just really wondering where I'm from.
Okay, so how much do you speak Japanese now?
I can take orders. I can take orders. I can present myself. I can ask my directions, and I can survive. I met a lot of people in Japan. I actually met a YouTuber also asking people about differences in cultures, and we're really close now. We did a lot of encounters thanks to the fact that he speaks Japanese, and I'm a foreign woman. So two people, like Japanese guy and foreign woman, plus Japanese speaking person, like really easy to like make encounters, right? So I could survive with my really few Japanese when I did these encounters. So I'm happy about it.
Okay. What's it like coming to Japan with zero Japanese knowledge and learning Japanese from it?
I think it's scary. I was at first really overwhelmed when I arrived. First writing, right? Like completely different. So and it's everywhere. Like it's not only the menus or it's just everywhere on the streets, in the stations. But there's actually romanji in the stations, which was not the case a few times ago. So I'm happy. I consider myself lucky.
Okay.
And also there's Google Maps. I mean, we live in an era and a period where I think it's easier than 50 years ago, of course. But still, it was really scary, I think. And you just gain confidence like with time, with meeting people, with just also realizing that you're not the only student from foreign country not speaking a word of Japanese. So yeah.
Okay. I heard a lot about your experience, but what was your impression of Japan?
I am happy to have her to survive because at the beginning it's difficult to understand everything, and I would have some difficulties to survive without her. But it's really different from France. I'm happy to discover it step by step. The culture is very different, and Japanese everything is organized and you respect everyone a lot. In France, there is some kind of thing that you feel, and it's not like this. There is a lot of rules. When you wait for your bus, you have to wait in the right way and in the line. So it's different and interesting to see.
Okay. You mentioned a little bit about impression of Japan, but did you guys get like culture shock in Japan?
I actually got a lot. I think like the differences I talked about was a bit of culture shocks, and the fact that she mentioned the rules. I think this one was of the really biggest culture shock I had. I really think that Japanese society relies on trust in people's behavior, in people's respect for stuff. And actually it also works with companies or with trains. Like the trains work perfectly just because everybody does what the person has to do. And there is no, like nobody is just late or there's no excuse for being late, right? We're French. This is so different. I was late at work, actually. And it was okay because my boss was really nice, but I think it wouldn't have been okay in different places because Japan is really paying attention to punctuality, which is important to make things function, I think. And yeah, it just makes everything easier to trust and function. And in France, we also have this tendency, I think, to have a lot of, I would say, defiance or provocation with the rules, like with the state rules. So this is really different because, like, when you're Japanese, I feel like you don't really, like, you don't want to or you don't value the fact to mess up with the rules or to just, like, question them maybe sometimes, but not a lot, and absolutely not underpass them. And this is really different. This was the most, like the biggest. And also the time of work, the workload. I actually worked in an izakaya where there was a lot of reservations for teams. So after work drinks with a whole team of work. So I just saw a lot like habits of Japanese teams like drinking together and stuff. And also I know that the average is like between 12 and 15 hours of work per day in Japan, which is so huge because our maximum is 8 hours in France. So this was really big culture shock. And also the dogs, because we don't have dogs in like some babies. Like here in Japan, there is dogs on the streets which are in like rolling babies. And we don't have this in France. Like the dogs just walk on the streets. So I was really surprised at first, even if it's like kawaii.
You mentioned a little bit about drinking like team in izakaya. Is it like reservation for like a company?
Yes.
Like a drinking party for a company?
And the culture shock about this was mainly that in France, when you're with colleagues, whatever is the situation, you stay professional and you stay really, you keep your privacy and you keep your, like...
It depends.
Actually, like...
In medicine, it's not that way.
No, but this is different.
It depends.
No, they're students. In France, like, medicine students are really crazy with alcohol.
No,
you are.
Doctor, no, but there is some jobs.
Yeah, but a few. And the thing is that in Japan, it's like for all jobs, kinda. Like when you belong to a company, you have these drinks which are organized by someone of the team. And it's just normal to get drunk. I saw a lot of people falling on the floor in front of all their colleagues, and it was just normal, you know? Because what happens in the izakaya just stays in the izakaya, and it's okay. But in France, it wouldn't happen because you're just like you keep your privacy and you don't want people to think you're too drunk or stuff. And here it's just like when work is finishing, you have like it's no work. Like there is no boundaries anymore, kinda. I feel like it.
Okay, so even with colleagues, like after finishing, like working, they are like
partying
in different community, kinda.
Kinda. Like really
same community, but different feelings.
Two moods.
Like different mood, different atmosphere.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Don't you drink with colleagues?
You can drink, but not get drunk. Yes. This is
Japanese are more like open to drinking, or French are more. Do French like drinking more?
French really like drinking.
Yeah, French drink, but with friends and with family people, not with in the working
Ah,
world.
okay.
But French like drinking also.
So French prefer like spending drinking time with family,
Yeah.
more close people.
And also, like from my view, I think drinking with our colleagues is also really due to pressure when you're Japanese. Like you don't really have a choice of drinking. Like of course, like not everybody is drinking actually. In the izakaya, like some people are just taking jasmine cha or I don't know oolong cha, but I think there's a lot of pressure about it, and people like have already made videos or articles about it.
Lastly, what do you want to say to people who want to visit Japan?
Come here without any judgment. Come here knowing that you're just coming like to a different part of the world, which has their own rules, and like just expect to be surprised, expect to need to adapt, because I think that Japan is really the country where you need to adapt. Actually, there's a video on Instagram saying a guy saying that you should do research on Google Maps with Japanese hiragana or katakana, and it's so true. I changed my habits doing like research about ramen with Japanese hiragana, and like I find a lot more. You need to adapt in this country, I think.
Okay, so it was very nice to talk with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。いかがだったでしょうか？動画のご感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄で教えていただけますと幸いです。たくさんのコメントお待ちしております。チャンネル登録の際は通知ボタンもお忘れなく。